Micro-Frontends using Module Federation on React Native. Oh yeah. Your React Native code to your customers in an instant. Forget about the App Store. Let's get right into it. So here we have two applications from the same company. We've got Hiking World and we've got Tennis World. Now, Tennis World is the more evolved application. It's got its own cart in the application. So you can add, for example, pro tennis shoes there. You can show the cart to see the tennis shoes. You can clear the cart, go back to the store, and do all that kind of good stuff. Hiking World, on the other hand, doesn't have any of that. So we want to go and actually give Hiking World that cart implementation. Now, the more traditional approach would be to extract that cart functionality into a shared library, and then at build time, share it between both Tennis World and Hiking World. And that's fine for a lot of applications. But if you're doing the micro-front-end thing and you want to do runtime updating, I'm going to show you how to do that sharing using Module Federation. Let's check it out right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is create another application called Cart, and we're going to go and extract the cart functionality into that cart application. To build out that cart application, I'm going to use CallStack's Repack init module. I'll give it the name Cart. And I'm going to use Rspack for our packing. You can decide between that and Webpack. Either of those is going to support Module Federation, but Rspack is significantly faster. So now we have a new React Native application called Cart. And yeah, it's an application, but really it's going to just be a shared library. We're not actually going to deploy it as its own app. We're just going to use it as a way to bundle code that we're then going to share between Hiking World and Tennis World. So the first thing we need, obviously, is that code. So let's go over to our Tennis World application that has that code and go and grab add to cart, cart store, and cart list. Those are the components and the shared store that we want to share between those two applications. I'm just going to go and copy those and then paste those into our cart application. So now over in our cart application, we've got add to cart button, just a simple React component for the button. Got the cart list, another React component that uses the cart store, which we get from cart store, and cart store is a Zustand shared store. So another thing we need to do is install Zustand. Now, next up, we want to create the shared bundle that we're going to share between Cart and Tennis World and Hiking World. So creating that shared Module Federation bundle is part of configuring the bundler. So we're going to go over to the Rspack config, and then all the way down in the plugin section, we're going to configure our Module Federation plugin. So we're going to define our Module Federation plugin first with the name that we want to give the module, which in this case would be cart, as well as the file name. That's going to be the actual physical file name of the bundle. And then we're going to say what we want to expose in this bundle. So we're going to expose the add to cart button as well as the cart list within this Module Federation bundle. Now, add to cart button and cart list both depend on Zustand as well as React and React Native. So we want to make sure that we're sharing those libraries between whatever potential host is going to download our code. So we need to specify what libraries we have to share. So first, we need to bring in our list of libraries. So I'm going to bring in the package information from package.json and then go back down. And I'm going to specify that we're going to look through all of the dependencies in that package. And then we're going to take those dependencies, grab the dependency and the version from each, and then create a new object where we have the name of the library as the key. But then in an object associated with that library, we've got singleton true, eager true, and required version as the version number. Singleton means that we only want a single version of that library in our application at any one time. And the required version is the version. Eager true just means that we want it to grab it immediately. And now we're going to restart our bundler, and we get an error. That error is about not having this Module Federation Enhanced module in there. So let's go grab that. It's going to be a dev dependency. Now let's try it again. And we can see that we already have an address in use at 8081. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to put this application on a known port. So I'm going to go back over here to our package.json and say that with our React Native, I want to put it on a particular port. I'm going to pick 9000 for that, and let's give it another try. Okay, looks good. So if I open up a new terminal, and then I do 9000, and then I give it the target, which in this case would be iOS, and I give it the name of my bundle, pop that on there. There we go. We've got a module exported that has all the information that our Hiking World is going to need to import this module from this cart system. Cool. So let's go do that. Let's go and upgrade our Hiking World. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it access to that module. And to do that, I'm going to go into our Rspack config. So here I'm going to do the flip side of what I did with cart. I'm going to consume the bundle that we just created. I'm going to be the host to that bundle. That bundle is the remote in Module Federation parlance. So I'm going to again use that exact same Module Federation plugin. I'm going to give it a new name, in this case, Hiking World, and I'm going to give it a set of remotes. So those are any bundles that I want to use, and I want to say what name I want to assign them by in my application. So in this case, that would be cart. And of course, I have to do the shared thing that we did before, because what Module Federation is going to do when I try to load the cart is arbitrate between the host and the remote to see, hey, do you have some libraries that I need? If so, I'm going to grab them and do all that work. So we need to have a list on both sides of what both sides are sharing. Okay, looking good. Let me go and rerun Hiking World. Again, we get that issue about Module Federation Enhanced. So let's go and add that. And we'll start it up. And that looks good. Now let's go over and just reload Hiking World just to make sure that it still works. Everything's working great, but of course we haven't brought in anything. So now let's go and add the cart button to our items. So to do that, I'm going to go over into the products page. This is where the product cards are. And then I'm going to import our add to cart button. So far, so good. So I'm just going to use that down here and let's give it a try. All right. So we're getting this cannot read property null of undefined. And that's because this is asynchronous, and right out of the gate, add to cart button is going to be null until all of that stuff is downloaded. So we want to use a React lazy component as opposed to just doing a direct import like this. To do that, we use the async version of import, and then we wrap it in a React lazy. The last thing we need to do is put this inside of a suspense. Let's give it a go. And now we've got add to cart buttons. How cool is that? Now to show that this is a live connection between these two things, I'm going to go change that add to cart button from blue to green. Let's go down here to the cart button styles, change it to green, hit save, go over to my simulator, I'll reload. And now we've got green buttons. Boom! But of course, Tennis World also has the show cart functionality. So let's go and add that to our app in the app section of Hiking World. Again, I'll learn from the past to do a lazy import of my cart. Now I know I'm going to need suspense for the cart list, but I'm also going to use useState to track whether it's open or closed. To do that, I'll use useState inside of my app and create a show cart Boolean that I'll use to toggle whether we show or hide the cart. We'll create a button to do that toggling right below our header. This is just going to be a touchable opacity that has the cart button and all that. So let's bring in touchable opacity as well as all the cart button styles. Next up, we only want to show the products if we're not showing the cart. And if we are showing the cart, we want to wrap that in a suspense. All right, let's hit save and then go over to our sim, reload it. And now we've got our show cart button. This is awesome. Let's go and add some items to our cart. Looks great. So now we have our complete cart functionality inside of Hiking World. Awesome first step. But of course, we want to share this code between both of these applications. So I'm going to real quick do the exact same thing I did with Hiking World, but with Tennis World. All right, so the first thing we did was we went and altered the Rspack config. I'm going to grab what I did for Hiking World and just paste that into Tennis World. But of course, change the name to Tennis World. Next up, I'm going to go add that library, Module Federation Enhanced. I'll restart the bundler. Now I know Hiking World and Tennis World are actually really, really close. So all I'm going to do here next is I'm just going to take the products we built for Hiking World and just paste that into the products for Tennis World, and then do pretty much the same thing for the app. I'm going to copy that out of Hiking World, paste that into Tennis World, and the only difference is that we got Tennis World as the text, and the color scheme for the header is slightly different. All right, let's hit save. Jump over to my simulator, reload, and now we've got our green add to cart button, meaning that Tennis World is also using Module Federation to get the add to cart button in the cart list. Just to do one more check on that, let's go ahead and change that to a red button. Hit save, jump over to both apps, reload, and now we've got red buttons in both our apps. Awesome. But now you might be like, yeah, this is cool and all, but hey, I can't run these modules out of localhost in production. Where am I actually going to host these remote modules? Well, to do that, there's a new player in the Module Federation game, and that's Zephyr Cloud. They are specifically designed to work with Module Federation and to be a host for federated modules out in the cloud. So let's go and connect our cart module federation setup to Zephyr. To do that, I'm going to go back to my cart. I'm going to install the Zephyr plugin in development mode. Then I'm going to go on my bundler config. Right up at the top here, I'm going to bring in with Zephyr. Now what with Zephyr wants to do is wrap our configuration. So the first thing we need to do is capture our configuration. Currently, we are just returning it. So I'm going to turn it into const config. And then right down the bottom here, in development mode, I just normally return config. I'm just going to hard code in here that we want to connect it to Zephyr. So I'll do with Zephyr and then give it the config. And now it's going to wrap our config in a connection to Zephyr. So let's hit save. Now I'm going to do pm start. And we get an issue. And that issue is about Git. So what Zephyr wants to do is it wants to identify you using Git. So now what we need to do is upload our code to some Git repository. So I'm going to use GitHub for that. So over on GitHub, I'm going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it cart. I'm going to make it private. Nobody else needs to see this. I'm going to get my remote add there because I know how to do the rest. Go to Windsurf. I'll go and initialize this repo locally. I'll add all the files to it. I'll commit it. I'll add that remote, and then I'll push it. All right, awesome. So now we can try that start again. Ooh, looking happier. And it's opened up a new browser where I've logged into Zephyr. Awesome. So I'm going to go to my homepage. I'm going to jump down here to Zephyr. That's my account. And we can see right away, we've got that cart. And that cart has the exposed add to cart button and cart list. Really cool. So I'm going to go and grab the URL for this. I'm going to go over here to our cart. I'm going to go and grab the URL off of this. So I'm going to grab this URL. And then I'm going to go over to our hiking world and into its Rspack config. And now I'm going to go and comment out the current remote and make my own remote cart. I'm going to use that URL that I got, and then the bundle, and then I'm going to restart our bundler, and let's try it out. All right, looking good. It's pulling that module from Zephyr. Now let me show you how I can actually roll back code using Zephyr if I made a mistake. So I'll go over to cart again, and I'll change the cart button, this time back to blue. I'll hit save. If we go into cart, we can actually see that we've uploaded another to Zephyr Cloud. If I go to my simulator and hit reload, we now have blue buttons because that's the latest version of the code that's up on Zephyr. We're automatically pushing to Zephyr every time we hit save. But I can actually jump back to a previous version by giving me the tag, saying deploy, saying that I'm sure. I can hit reload. And now I've got red again. Now, I will say that Zephyr sponsored this video, but Module Federation works both with and without Zephyr. So Module Federation is an open source technology. It's built in a Webpack, an Rspack, and other bundlers. It is completely open source, and you can use it for free. But of course, with Zephyr, you get all the goodness of having a managed service that manages all of your versions and your rollback and all the rest of it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that quick look at Module Federation with React Native. I'm certainly really excited about it. For even more detail, you can jump on that Zephyr Cloud site where we're going to have more videos and documentation on it. Of course, you can always ask questions right here in the comment section right down below. And in the meantime, if you like this video, do me a solid, hit that like button. And if you really like the video, hit the subscribe and click on that bell and you'll be notified the next time a new blue collar coder comes out.